It's a beautiful day for baseball, FG fam, as we have another episode of the Colorado Rockies franchise here on MLB the Show 22. And the Rockies may be 10 games back of the division lead, but they are 46-35 heading into the All-Star break. We got another couple of weeks to go before we get there. But as you can see, if you don't have a complete star at a position, you're not making the All-Star game. We've made a little bit of a trade here as we're dumping off 3 pitching prospects to pick up 1. I think that's a great trade for us. Saves a little money, gives us 1 guy, and leaves us a roster spot for this man right here, Ryan Zimmerman, who will be taking a 1-year, $2.7 million contract to get on our team and help us replace some guys who have been injured. But today we will be facing the San Diego Padres and that man, Manny Machado, a dude batting .346 with 19 home runs so far this year. Austin Gomber will have the pleasure of facing him and his merry men today. 5-6 record, a .350 ERA, and a .151 whip. Not the greatest season, quite mediocre actually, and the first one is hit onto Iglesias, who will throw it on to first for out number 1. Then Trent Grisham coming to the plate, almost a .300 average, and there's Ryan Zimmerman making his first play at first base for us, and he will step on first base for out number 2. Fernando Tatis Jr. comes up and swings through the inside fastball, and we go to the bottom half of the first where we get our first ups. Iglesias with a dribbler on to first base. That one is an easy out number 1. Sean Manaea pitching for the Padres here. There's another dribbler, but Machado lays out for this one, throws on to first, and safe at first base. So we've got a man on for Chris Bryant, who dribbles one on to shortstop. This one will turn 2 and end the first inning early in this episode. Here's Austin Nola up at the plate for San Diego in the top of the second, and it will be off of Chris Bryant's glove. Not a good start for Chris Bryant there today as he gets out and then has a ball come off his glove. Here he has another chance to make a play as this one's headed to the wall. 2 away, and this one could score a run, but he will make the catch and get us through the top half of the second inning. Now to the bottom half. Here's Brendan Rodgers up at the plate, and he laces one into the alleyway in between center and right. That one all the way to the wall, and he will get himself to second base with a 1-out double. Randall Grichuk comes up later on, and this one's dribbled onto shortstop and thrown onto first to get Grichuk out and end the second inning. A real pitcher's duel thus far. This one laid out again by Machado. He picks it up, throws it on a first, and he gets the out. What a play for Machado. Here's Connor Joe at the plate. This one's on to shortstop, and that's a routine play right there to end the third inning. So through 3, we are scoreless. Let's see what happens here in the 4th. Into the top of the 4th, and Hilliard's giving chase with this one, and it's going to get over his head all the way to the wall. There's a 2-out double for San Diego. And they've got a runner in scoring position here against Gomber, who's thrown 68 pitches already. There's a strikeout, though, to get through the top half of the 4th on Aristides Aquino. Ha-Sung Kim in the top of the 5th hits a base hit into left field with 1 away. And that'll get them at least another base runner that they can potentially bring home. Cronenworth barely taps this one onto Gomber. Gomber makes the play. That's out number 2, but they do have a runner in scoring position now, so a little bit of drama here. A gapper scores him. Here's Trent Grisham, and that's just a pop-up over to third base, and that will be taken care of to get through the top half of the 5th inning. Randall Grichuk up at the plate now for the Rockies with 1 away, and he will put himself on first base with an easy single into center field. And hopefully the Rockies can pick up a run here. Here's McMahon with another single into right field, so 2 straight base hits for the Colorado Rockies, and they have 2 guys on with just 1 away. Here's Dom Nunez, backup catcher. He hits this one deep out to center field, and potentially Grichuk going to tag up here. He will. Grichuk starts his run, throwing on to third. The throw is not good, and runners will be on the corners with 2 away for Jose Iglesias. Iglesias is jammed, and he will be out on the bloop. So 5th inning done. We go to the 6th. Manny Machado at the plate, and he gets a base hit with one away off of a full count, no less, and puts a base runner on for San Diego. Here's Nomar Mazara, and he hits this one into center field, and Grichuk will make the play. So there's 2 away. Machado still stranded on first base. Austin Nola at the plate to try to bring him in, and this one is blooped, and Chris Bryant lays out. He can't make the play. Grichuk backs him up nicely, but Machado is in at third, and they have runners on the corners now. That's enough of Gomber. Alex Reyes coming into the game, 3.61 ERA. Way better against righties than lefties, so we'll see. He's got a righties here at Aquino, and he strikes him out. There we go. Through the top of the 6th inning we go. Still scoreless. We'll be back. We're back in the bottom of the 6th. Here's Chris Bryant. This one down the right field line, and that one stays fair. Chris Bryant gets one all the way into the corner, and he will be safe at second with a 1-out double here in the bottom of the 6th. Ryan Zimmerman, the man just signed. He was just signed, and he hits an absolute bomb shot to left field, a 2-run shot for Ryan Zimmerman. Don't tell me this man can't play anymore. And that one is going to give Colorado the lead 2-0. Put the first 2 runs on the board. Eventually, it was going to pay off for somebody if they keep getting runners in scoring position. Sam Hilliard now comes up with 2 away in the bottom of the 6th, and he hits this one up against the wall. Hilliard's going to dig in at second with a 2-out double. Can anybody bring him in? That's his 11th double of the season, by the way. San Diego's had enough, and they're going to bring in Dinelson Lamet. He's 7-6 on the year in relief with a 3.95 ERA, and he's about even against righties and lefties. So we'll see what he does here. Randall Grichuk hits this one hard to left field, and it is over the wall. 2-run shot for Grichuk, and this inning is bad for San Diego. All hell is broken loose, and Grichuk's 14th home run of the season, traveling 451 feet, has extended that Colorado Rocky lead to 4. We fast forward to the bottom of the 8th. There's a strikeout of Brendan Rodgers, and that is going to get 2 away for Dinelson Lamet. Here is Sam Hilliard, and he strikes out as well. So through the 8th inning, but it's a 4-0 lead. Rocky's going to try to hang on. We'll see if they can do it. We'll be right back. And Richard Rodriguez is called upon to try to get this save, I guess it is. 22 of 25 at save opportunities. There's the strikeout for out number 1. Here in the top of the 9th inning, Aristides Aquino is up. He's 0 for 3 and may get 0 for 4. Another strikeout for him. He goes down. 2 away. Rodriguez setting him down in order. Here's Malone, and he hits this one into right field, and Hilliard gloves it for the win against the rivals. Colorado, man, they are a tough squad this year. Very gritty, very, I don't even know what to call it, just a tough team to beat this year for some reason. Randall Grichuk with the 2-run shot gets player of the game. Alex Reyes, 2 1/3, 3 strikeouts, 2 walks, but a 4-0 win, all of them coming in that 6th inning. Sean Manaea gets the loss. He's got a 3.32 ERA, but he gave up 3 in 5 innings. That's not great. Austin Gomber pitched brilliantly. He now has a 3.31 ERA on the season. We go to the NL Futures game, and Zach Veen is somebody we really want to take a look at here in this AL versus NL Futures at Dodger Stadium. They get to play in beautiful Los Angeles, and Zach Veen is going to draw a walk. That might be one of the best things he does all day. It depends. You only really get like 2 or 3 ups. Zach Veen batting .276 on the year. He strikes out in the 3rd, though, so a walk and a strikeout for Zach Veen. We'll be back. And Zach Veen probably in his last plate appearance here, and he strikes out. That looked like a check swing to me, but Blue doesn't agree. So we will manage the rest of the game as Zach Veen comes out of it. And the AL Futures with a 2-1 lead It would have to be a walk-off if the NL Futures were planning on getting a win here. Strikeout, walk, single, but the AL Futures are able to slam the door. So the American League Futures do get the win. NL Futures got the first run of the game, but then 2 later on for the AL Futures in the 5th really gave them the win. Liberatore ends up with the loss. He's the big-time prospect for St. Louis. And we move on to the actual MLB All-Star Game. And as you can see, in the NL, none of our players are starting. I don't even know if we actually have a player in the All-Star Game, but we definitely don't have any starters. So let's get in there and manage this game. We're going to try to do it as quickly as possible. I do tend to, when I manage these All-Star Games, make sure that just about everybody ends up playing at least a little bit. 2-0 for the AL All-Stars. They get 2 in the top of the 2nd, but then in the bottom of the 3rd, the NL All-Stars tie the ball game up. So then in the AL, they get a run in the top of the 5th and the top of the 6th to take a 4-2 lead. Chris Bassett comes into the ball game, and he's going to pitch as well. We get Andrew Kittredge up against us. A lot of zeros up on that scoreboard against us. That's definitely not what we want. So we're going to have to start pinch hitting guys and getting some more up at bats. We don't seem to have any bench bats in the All-Star Game, but we do have John Curtis, who made the All-Star Game. That is our one All-Star in the All-Star Game, is John Curtis. We go ahead and we get 1 in the 7th, but in the 8th, oh my goodness, a grand slam was hit by the AL. They put up a 6 spot. It's 10-3. It's just not looking good. And yes, I did purposely refrain from putting John Curtis in the ball game. We don't need his stamina getting any lower than what it could be. So there we go. We don't want to overwork him. And Mitch Garver is the one that ended up hitting that grand slam of the Texas Rangers. So we move to the AAA All-Star Game. And in AAA, we have a guy, Colton Welker, who's DHing in the ball game, and he is starting in the All-Star Game. So good for him. There is something a little bit weird about this game that we'll get to. Here's Globe Life Field, and if you notice, there's Colton Welker going down swinging, but you can't blame him. You got to go up against Chris Sale. Here's Josiah Gray, and Josiah Gray is going to get the out on Colton Welker as well, but at least he was able to hit that one and not strike out. So we move into managing this one, and the East All-Stars up 9-5 at the moment, even with a 3 spot in the 8th from the West All-Stars. So a 9-5 game at the moment. We're going to bring in Sadler here. And there we go. Door gets shut. Chris Sale and his squad ends up getting the win there for the East All-Stars. Chris Sale. Why? Why is Chris Sale there? He pitched 2 innings. He did give up 2 runs, 3 strikeouts, 3 hits, and a walk. Now, why is Chris Sale an All-Star in AAA? Well, he has 10 wins. 10 wins in AAA for Chris Sale. Yes, you heard me correctly. He's actually on fire. He is so on fire that he has a 1.76 ERA in AAA. This is a 93 overall man. The best pitcher on the Boston Red Sox, and they have him in AAA. This is the Red Sox real starting rotation right now for some reason. Rich Hill and Matt Strahm, a bullpen guy, they would rather have in their major league rotation. Surely that's got to make them suck, right? No! They're 3.5 games out of first place in a tough AL East. Unbelievable. Well, we have a critical situation where the Milwaukee Brewers have a 6-5 lead. You can go ahead and sound off on Chris Sale in the comments section below. Here's Chris Bryant up at the plate, and he's going to get a hit here. We're going to try to get runners on the corners, and it is successful. So corners with nobody away. Could try to get this win, but there's a strikeout of Randall Grichuk. He just swings right through that high heater. Here's Connor Joe, and he's going to miss the circle change down low. And then here's Ryan McMahon, and he gets jammed. And that is an easy pop fly for the final out. So 3 outs in a row after we get runners on the corners. And Devin Williams is able to shut the door for the Milwaukee Brew Crew. And they end up getting a win against us 6-5. Very good win for them. Loss for Todd Ramirez, who gave up 2 in just an inning and 2/3 of work. Well, the trade deadline is going to be coming up, ladies and gentlemen. And Shane Bieber is apparently on the block. So is Austin Meadows, Jan Gomes, Dylan Cease, Chris Paddock, Eric Lauer. Lots of dudes on the trade block at the moment. Tuki Toussaint and a 21-year-old second baseman, Jorbit Vivas, is up on the trade block as well. So I don't know if any of that is going to help us, or maybe we want to be sellers at the deadline. If we did want to be sellers, Jose Iglesias would be prime, making $5 million. He's a free agent at the end of the year. Alex Colome, Chad Kuhl, all those guys would be prime guys to be trading away at this moment. I don't even know if they're really going to contribute if we did want to make a playoff push. We'll see. Iglesias obviously is a starting shortstop right now, so he would, but Colome doesn't really do a ton coming out of the bullpen. And as you take a look, Red Sox in the wild card lead, along with the Mariners taking that second spot. The Chris Sale-less Red Sox for the entire season. That is a long AAA rehab, I gotta say. Mets hold a 1-game lead. Cardinals hold a 1-game lead in the Central, and in the West, the Dodgers are just blowing everybody away. We're 15.5 games out of first in the West. The Dodgers are 72-33. Kind of ridiculous. But we're only 4 games out of the wild card, and that is really where I ask you guys. Do we buy? Do we sell? What do you guys think we should do 4 games out of the wild card, or should we just stay where we are and see how far this team can go and make our changes in the offseason? That's what I've got to ask you guys. Connor Joe's having a really good season. Hilliard's hitting a lot of bombs, not really hitting for average. Hampson was playing really well. He's on the injured list right now. CJ Cron's back on the injured list. That's why Ryan Zimmerman had to come in and get signed. And then over in the pitching stable, John Curtis is our one All-Star. There he is, a 1.21 ERA, 5-0. He's having a really, really nice year. Gomber pitching at a 3.16 ERA now, as we saw. Over in AAA, there's probably some guys that are competing to be the September call-ups, and we'll see how that goes later on. But there's nobody I really want to bring up at the moment. I think everybody could really use a little bit more training down in the minor league level. This man, Matt Dennis, oh my gosh, 8.10 ERA, but he hasn't pitched a ton of innings. Zach Veen batting .280 with 16 home runs in AA. He might have to try out AAA for like a few games, see what's up. We'll see if that's something that we do. There's a guy, Montero, hitting 9 bombs in AA, which is cool. And then Muhammad Banks batting .382 in his 110 at-bats. I think that's pretty good. I'd like to see more of a sample size from him, and we'll see if we get that. Cope has only played 1 game in AA. He's a guy that came up from single A for a little bit. Over for the pitchers, a 2.90 ERA for Will Etheridge, but apparently he's going to be out for like the rest of the season. And he's only a D potential guy, but he was pitching so well. That's one complaint I do have about MLB, is they really need to figure out a way to fix their progression and regression, because that guy should have better potential if he's going to go ahead and pitch like that. We are coming up on the month of August, and before we do that, we'll get to the trades or whatever you guys kind of recommend in the comments section below. Maybe we don't do any trades. Maybe we do a ton of trades. Maybe we fire sale. I don't know. You guys tell me what you think should happen for this Colorado Rocky team, and we've got a great month of August coming up for you in that next episode. Sitting 15.5 games out, we have no shot at this division, but we are only 4.5 games out of the wild card, so that's where the big decision comes in. Is there a chance that we can beat out either the Padres or the Giants? I don't know. We'll have to see. The Isotopes are not very good as they're 7 games back, and the Yard Goats are 4 games back, so they do still have some hope. I appreciate you guys checking out this video. Love you all. Make sure you guys check out links in the description to the Discord and the Twitch. Come hang out with us outside of YouTube where we have a lot of fun. And shout outs to all the channel members: Kaz Craig Gaming, Rigoberto Ramirez, Raider Bear Comics, Christian Horn, Derek Vance, T-Clink24, TNJ, Jeffrey Kendrick, David Morslander, and V-Dub Productions. Love you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Some